Hello, this is Lightning and I'm streaming with Diving.
Hello.
We are streaming Sentinels versus Men's Women Tournament in the Demacian division for Casual Esports Amateur League. This matchup is reasonably interesting because of the very different play styles of the two teams. The
Yeah,
Men's Women Tournament team seems to be very dynamic. They switch roles around all the time and fluidly move through the map, which is pretty interesting. Sentinels goes for a much more safe, AD carry-centric playstyle, which is more or less the norm for Casual League at the Demacian level. So it will be interesting to see these two sides compete against one another.
yeah, and I want to say it's also really interesting when you look at the standings too, because both of these teams are tied for first at 5-1 at the moment. So whoever wins this will likely go on to be first seed into playoffs. So that's pretty exciting. I'm looking forward to it.
This is an important game to get the better playoff spot.
Yeah, absolutely. Especially depending on where Amber 02 ends, because I believe Amber 02 is the third place team right now, and they look like they can be a threat too. So both of these teams
The
definitely want
banners are coming
to.
out now.
Yeah,
Uram is banned for men's women's tournament, and Akali and Ari bans for Sentinels. Men's women's tournament ban Trundle. They're banning out the top two junglers of the enemy team, which makes sense. They're over a 60% win rate in solo queue and good team champions. A Blitzcrank ban coming out for men's women's tournament, and Sentinels go for the Heimerdinger ban.
yeah, that Heimerdinger makes a lot of sense because MWT is a big fan of running weird things, and if your bot lane's not prepared or practiced against a Heimerdinger, then, well, I mean, we saw what happened in LCS, right?
Yes. Sentinels pick up Pantheon as a potential flex men's women's tournament. Here to be going for Shen for that nice ultimate.
I do want to point out the Pantheon is also a takeaway from MWT here, as they ran into 3 different roles so far.
Yes, no, both teams play Pantheon, so taking that away is kind of a big deal. Xerath coming out from men's women's tournament, also a potential flex pick, mid and or support.
Yeah, and I think the Xerath is an interesting pick here. The Nautilus kind of an expected one, but Xerath is definitely a champ that if you can get onto it, then it doesn't have much in the way of defense or mobility. So I'm really interested to see if Scattercat's going to go for more of an aggressive pick if the Xerath is going to that mid lane.
Yeah. He might be going for the Pantheon.
That's true, yeah.
And
And if
Nautilus
that's the
Jinx for
case,
Sentinel. That's what they've mostly been playing.
yeah, that's a good safe pickup for them. There's an Irelia coming in that makes me think the Xerath is going bot lane for support.
Zuelia could be top Galio ban coming up tournament.
Yeah, so if they ban the Galio, that means they're not convinced the Pantheon's going mid.
I think it might be. I mean, I'd like to play a Pantheon mid into a Xerath.
But that could be an Irelia. So I think with them showing Irelia, they could be trying to force that Pantheon out of mid.
Yeah, possibly.
I mean, they do have a triple flex going on with Shin too, because Shin can very easily go support.
Yes.
And I mean, MWT plays wacky things. I wouldn't be surprised if one of them can play Shin support. I do like the Kaisa band coming out here, though.
Yeah. Kaisa's the top AD carry for and a Warwick ban coming out.
Mm-hmm. So are they going to ban another ADC, or are they going to split and maybe ban a? Yep.
Nope, they banned Draven.
Yep, they will go for the Draven, which is a pretty smart into a Jinx. You don't really want her to get
Want to
bullied
take that
around.
matchup? No, you don't. It's a bad matchup.
So they triple banned the
Jack coming
ADC.
out. Okay, this is getting interesting.
Nothing's really locked yet, I don't believe. Because they could still flex things around on the side of MWT, but the J4 coming out in answer to the Jax, I assume.
Yes. Again, similar assumption. They still have an 80 carry left, but they could Oriana coming out mid for Sentinels.
Oriana is a nice safe one.
Nice, safe, just got buffed. Xin Zhao.
Ooh, so this is interesting. This means that they won't have a ranged ADC bot lane. So who do you think? I think it's going to be Irelia bot with Shin support. Jax either top or jungle. Probably top with Xin Zhao jungle, maybe?
Yeah, Xin Zhao kind of has the jungle, so.
Yeah. Unless they think Zen can go into Pantheon, but I mean that's still rough for Jax too.
Yes. But Jax scales, he could just play safe.
I think Pantheon still wins that with his directional immunity.
I think so too, at least early game.
Yeah. That'll be interesting. Pretty excited to see where this is going.
Seems like pretty intelligent use of hands.
Yeah.
But the men's-women's tournament team comp is rather interesting, while Sentinels looks pretty standard.
Yeah, but this is exactly the comp that, exactly the type of comp that I would expect from MWT, just looking at their past games.
You're scared. Good to know.
Let's see. The thing with MWT is they're going to have a hard time sieging come later into the game.
Yes, they really will.
So they're really going to want to try and blow the game open early, which can be hard when you don't have when you have a Shin and a Jax.
Yeah. Or they might try to run a 1-3-1 and just not and use the Aurelia and Xerath for wave clear.
Whoops. Yeah, especially with this Shin, when you throw him support, you really delay that ult by a good amount.
Yeah.
So that's definitely going to set back when they can start making these early diving plays.
They're setting up without Shen or Jax running Smite, so I guess Xin is going to run Smite. Shen support Jax top with Ignite.
Yep. Yeah, this is interesting. Means Irelia ADC into Jinx, which I think Jinx should actually be able to bully Irelia early on. I don't think she's too awfully strong without items or without at least a Tiamat.
Yeah, and Shen Nautilus, they're both tanky CC champions. But I believe Nautilus is better.
I would actually say he's better into this matchup, specifically because he has the root on his passive, so he can lock down the Irelia.
Yeah, but Shen can also block the ult, block the root with his W.
That's true. He absolutely.
And the root will cancel and it'll go on cooldown, but you won't actually get to apply it. Xerath with the TP. Xerath going mid with the TP.
But
Jack
yeah,
Knight.
let's see.
No heal bot lane. Yeah, men's women's tournament is playing an interesting, definitively off meta playstyle.
If you look at Sentinels though, there's no TP over there either. So
No, the lack of teleport really is going to be an inconvenience for, especially for countering a Jack Shen double split push. I don't really know if they'd have a lot of counterplay to dealing with that.
Yeah, I'm really, let's see, I'm looking at this bot lane because I feel like Irelia Shin, they'll either not really threaten the Jinx or they're just going to kill her over and over again.
Yes, one or the other will happen pretty quickly. And Jinx snowballs incredibly hard.
Yeah, so hopefully they don't give the Jinx early kills, but Sentinels definitely, they like to play towards their bot lane. Their ADC is actually on 0 deaths for his past 3 games consecutively, and he has 4 deathless games for this whole season so far. So he's absolutely putting on the carry pants, and I do like to see the bot lane focus out of MWT trying to shake it up, but you just got to wonder if this Jinx is going to be able to stay safe and get to her gold spikes. I feel like MWT will have a hard time later into the game.
Yes, I think that is true. But I'm assuming MWT is going for a late game split push strategy.
Very possible, and I wouldn't doubt that. They do have a Jax and Irelia.
And a Shen.
That's true. But it's a support Shin, so he won't be that great at split pushing at all.
No, but he can stand another lane, take Demolish.
Also, he can support a split pusher.
Yes,
So
definitely.
that's always a possibility.
Yeah, he can ult in. They try to collapse on the flip.
And if you look over to the side of Sentinels, they don't have anything great that can answer a late game split pusher. They have a Pantheon, which is good, mid game, but come like 35 or 30 minutes, I'm starting to give it to the Irelia, Jackson, probably even Xin Zhao to 1v1 them.
Yeah.
So Sentinels have definitely got to be careful with being able to draw the fights to them and not get split apart.
Sentinels will need to be able to just, if they're able to get catches though with Nautilus hooks, Jarvan engage, Orianna ultimate, Pantheon, they have plenty of engage, but they'll just have to catch players tournament. They can't stay in lane late. They have to group. They have to force objectives, win team fights fast. Tournament can split push. That's assuming they actually do the advising.
Real quick, can you lower your sensitivity? You're cutting out just a little bit. Or raise the sensitivity, whatever. Lower the slider on Discord. In any case, what's going to be interesting is really if there's action in the side lane come later into the game, there's not really going to be many ways for anybody to interfere and join. There's Xerath with the TP, and besides that, you have Shin ulti, but there's no way. It's not like you have 3 people on each team running teleport right now.
No, and it's different from how lots of other teams have played.
We are all creations
Mm-hmm.
of spirit. Still, I must kill you.
Let's see if there's going to be any level 1 shenanigans. Alright. I am at 31, 32, 33.
Yeah, same.
Okay.
Any? No, there does not appear to. There was
Nope.
some. No, no
They're not
level.
even going for wards either. Interesting.
No, nothing going on level 1. That
Well,
has been
that's
kind
a
of a
shame.
common theme. Either there's been like a 5-man invade or nothing happened.
Yeah, and I'm sure with the playoff implications, neither team really wants to throw the game level 1.
Gambling the game on a 5-man invade may or may not pay off.
Yeah, so that it's
Chen and
understandable that both teams are playing it safe right now.
the lineup for men's women's tournament is very interesting. Both Shen and Jax are in top lane.
That is very interesting.
Don't know what they're doing.
Yeah, I'm wondering. They're obviously looking for a level 1 cheese. Plain and simple, but I think it's rather ambitious.
Whether it will
Oh
actually work.
no. Ooh, he
And
misses the taunt. Oh, fuck.
Pantheon forced to flash. Xerath in bot lane by himself against a Nautilus and a Jinx.
Ooh, this is interesting. Is this going to be a River Shin? I think so. So they're just going to be relying on Xerath in the bot lane for wave clear. And I think Shin's just going to bounce between top and mid the whole game.
After a couple of levels though, Jinx and Nautilus should be able to just straight up dive a Xerath.
Ooh, and Jax gets the first blood top lane. That's going to be rough for the Pantheon because he's not being able to do Pantheon things right now.
No. Yeah, he's forced to TP in.
It's a really unfortunate TP, and we see Shin mid lane. He's looking around trying to find a pick. He is still level 1 though.
Jarvan may be caught between the Shen and the Jack. No. Fly grabs to escape. The Nautilus moves up, get a Warden River. Xin Zhao is going for the Scuttle Crab.
And Shin's actually getting the one on the other side, so J4 is not going to get either scuttles here.
There's a fight happening. Xin Zhao is chased off and is forced to flash.
What's interesting is the Pantheon, who may get a kill here, no, is a level up because of the Shin who was soaking XP.
Yes. The Shen is still... Shen is moving in on mid lane and hits his taunt. But he's only level 1, so whether he can actually do something useful is certainly questionable at this point.
You should try fast forwarding a little bit.
What time do you have?
I'm at 40 or 38, 39, 40, 41, 42.
Yeah, I was like 2 seconds behind.
Yeah, so what's interesting is this Shin is still only level 2.
And Shen normally tries to get 6 very quickly. That has not happened at all.
No, I wonder how late into the game it's going to go before he actually gets level 6.
This doesn't work decisively. Xin Zhao potentially going for an invade now. He and the Shen think better of it.
I would have liked to have seen the Nautilus put his ward a little bit further to Dragon to try and get vision of that pit. Oop.
This Jinx essentially has free farm though, which is gonna be a bit of an issue later on.
True, but the Xerath isn't that far behind her.
No.
And with this being a 2v1, and that's all the lead they have, that's not a whole lot.
No.
But Pantheon's low top side. I wonder if Jax is going to try the dive, but here comes J4.
Jordan. J4 is brought low by the minions. Chen coming in.
Yeah, so kind of a botch.
They're all
there.
low. Top side.
What I'm interested in right now is that Sentinels haven't been able to punish that this Shen is still only level 4.
No. Level 2.
Oh yeah, sorry, level 2. I was looking at fucking Whoop.
The Shen catches the Orianna, but doesn't have any damage to follow up.
Part of being level 2. No. I do think it's interesting, this Nautilus.
The Xerath gets caught. And not killed.
Now, I would like to see
Xerath is very close to death there, though.
I don't know. And if he hit the traps, certainly.
Yes.
What I'm interested in is if the Nautilus is going to get Moby boots and start roaming himself and letting the Jinx free farm.
Potentially. They're going for Scuttle. This Shen is caught.
Amazing hook coming out there, though.
Yeah, that looked a bit buggy. I don't know whether it's just a spectator delay acting weird, but it definitely looked strange.
It was a very interesting hook. Irelia is showing that she can just go in on the Orianna, though.
Yes. Elliot does definitely have the ability to engage on an Orianna. With the Orianna returning some damage, both mid-laners are fairly low.
I'd like to see the Orianna utilize her shield better, though.
Sentinels! Sentinels slay the dragon. And they finally managed to kill that Nautilus. Sentinels get the dragon, but lose the Nautilus and the Jarvan in exchange.
See, so let's look at golds here. MWT is up 1.1k going in 10 minutes, coming up on 9 minutes into the game. Let's see, where is that mostly? Action top lane.
The Jax appears to have outscaled the Pantheon, at least in his own minion wave. The Jax gets away with a sliver of health and dives the Pantheon.
The Pantheon had an unfortunate ultimate going into that large wave. Traded back a lot of damage when he was already down gold. It's a rough situation.
The wave will kill you. The enemy champion doesn't. And the NTP. Jinx and Nautilus still haven't managed to break the first plate against a single opponent.
Mm-hmm. They're getting caught out here.
Yeah. They get caught out and both killed by the Aurelia. The Orianna appears to be being caught up by the Zinza and gets away.
see, the MWT is getting some plates off the spot side, mining some of that gold. They'll get 2 there.
Shen is killing the Scuttle Crab.
Shin is
Slowly.
still only level 4 though.
Zinzo is caught, and so is Aurelia. But Aurelia manages to kill the Orion as well. Appears to be a failed, or a partially successful dive.
And Jack's going in on the Pantheon up here in top lane, and it looks like he's just going to run him down.
The Pantheon has been outscaled.
It's really unfortunate. The level 1 cheese from Shin really seemed to have defined the lane. Even though he got 1 kill back on the Jax, it's been... Oh, I thought he did. No, he just had some good trades in there for a little bit, but... it turns out the Jax just running away with his lead here. Individually, he's up almost 2,000 gold.
Sentinels will have a really hard time dealing with the Fed split pusher, especially if Shen ever hits 6, which may or may not happen.
Who knows?
Pantheon getting caught out by the Jack.
He's trading back good damage though.
Yes. Sin now comes in and prevents the chase.
What's interesting is if you look at bot lane, they're just constantly shoving in. Oop, Orianna caught mid. But back to my bot lane point, if you look down there, they're just constantly shoving in. They're not letting the wave freeze or anything so Nautilus can apply pressure. Oop, he goes in mid lane.
Nautilus goes in mid lane. No one dies. Kind of surprising. The Aurelia, no, checking back, no.
But what I do want to go back to is they're not... This whole game, their bot lane's been shoving out and not causing the... or forcing the Xerath to step up to the wave.
No.
Which,
And they haven't tried to like slow push either and get a really big wave and then set up for a dive. They just kind of fast pushed every wave, and then the Xerath clears it.
yeah.
Which isn't really the right strategy, but I do understand not applying the correct strategy into such a weird comp. That's probably why weird comps like this work. The Orianna gets caught out, but the Aurelia dives under turret. Jax kills the Pantheon again. And it looks like top tower will fall. The Shen coming in to help out. This Jax is going to be close to a Trinity Force at this point.
Mm-hmm. So this is hindsight, of course, but looking back, I think I would have liked to have seen them actually match the formation from MWT. I would have liked to have seen the Nautilus
They are
go
going to get those
mid.
dragons, though. The Zinzao coming in, or not. The Zinzao getting caught by the Nautilus.
That's a really good catch there.
Zinzao. Yes, the Zinzao got hooked by the Nautilus. But giving up the dragon pressure is a bit of a big deal for men's women's tournament. They haven't really had any dragon pressure, and you know, Infernal and Cloud will counteract some of the gold lead.
True, as the game goes on, that Infernal will become more and more valuable. But, ooh, unfortunate flash there.
The Pantheon taken out.
However, good flash from the Aurelia doesn't matter. I would like to see MWT pressure Herald here,
Yes. Some Herald pressure be very useful. Jax, rooted. Nautilus Flash.
J4's on the flank there. They decide not to pull the
Shen gets
trigger.
low and still level 5. Jill though. Ultimate there. Xerath kills the turret. Jax potentially trying to catch out this Jarvan.
J4's got to blow his flash, and Ori will
Orianna
steal it.
steals the blue buff, which is probably who was supposed to have it anyway.
Probably. Uh, what I'm surprised about is all the vision that Sentinels has topside right now, even though that Jax is so powerful. I would
He's not
expect that.
clearing out the wards.
Yeah, finally Shin is coming in, clearing out the wards, but he'll only be able to get some of them. Well, I guess there
Shen
are
is
control
finally level
wards there,
6.
so he'll find plenty.
Shen is finally level 6. He finds another one.
Action topside.
Orianna.
Jax is going to get a kill. Shin ult comes in. Jin Zhao flash forward, drops the second one, drops the third one, and Jax 7-0.
Yeah, a 7-0 Jax is a big problem. That's a lot of gold on a Drac.
Yes, he is up 400 gold and more action bot side as Aurelia goes in on Pantheon. And the poor Atreus will be smited by the whirling blades of Aurelia.
Now Pantheon had a bad early game and then fell off.
It's really unfortunate when you're playing these lane bullies and your early game gets messed up, and so then you can't apply your game plan at all.
A fight occurring.
You gotta... Oh my god, Jinx stole the Herald. But at the same time, you still gotta wonder why Sentinels even went to challenge that. They're so far behind, they're never going to win that fight. You just gotta give up Herald and try kill it before it slams into your turret. It's not like you're going to lose plates or anything at this point. See, what does Sentinels do from here? All their lanes are behind.
Yeah.
Even the Shin is ahead of the Nautilus right now by almost 1,000. So you gotta wonder what the game plan is from Sentinels here. Do they try scale up for the Jinx? Because their Pantheon's just going to fall further and further behind.
Or they catch this Aurelia. But they caught the Aurelia. Getting picks with the Nautilus hook might be a way for them to come back into the game. They're just getting poked out by the Xerath.
And maybe if they can use the Pantheon to collapse for fights. Oh no, J4 caught out. Just gets taken out.
Orianna caught out.
MWT chasing forward here.
All
Ooh,
of
snipe.
Sentinels get caught out. And all of them except Jinx are slain.
And Xerath turns on the scripts and starts sniping. And it just goes from bad to worse for Sentinels here. As you gotta feel they're kind of on their last legs.
Yeah. Bad team fight and a nice push through mid. Mid tower's gonna go down for Sentinels here. Why do you think Sentinels are having issues with this strategy, which, is not officially optimal?
So what I would imagine is, I think they just didn't punish bot lane. They let the Xerath free farm. They didn't challenge him, make him step up to the wave or anything. They constantly shoved in there, which allowed the Shin to not get punished for roaming.
And for being
Because
level 2 the whole time. Like, he was quite one-shottable.
yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I think either Sentinels has two options in that situation. They leave the Jinx down there against the Xerath and just hope for the best, and they have the Nautilus go and match the Shen. Or what they should have done is they should have not hard pushed the whole time. You let the wave collapse, and Xerath's going to be throwing out spells because he doesn't want it to shove him under turret where he
Yeah.
can't clear that well. So what you do is you let that push towards your turret, and then suddenly Xerath has to way overextend for anything, and then you have a Nautilus. You just go in. Oh,
The
Sentinels.
Jack shut down. That looked a bit like a DC.
It did very much look like a DC. Yep, there it is. That is rough though. Cause I mean, I like Orianna farmed well mid lane. J4 kind of unfortunately got bullied on 2v1 in jungle, and
Yeah.
so they just didn't make use of their 2v1 bot lane.
No.
They didn't have any protection for Jax or their J4, which I think if they would have just said, all right, screw it, we'll match you, Nautilus could have been giving that defensive vision.
Yeah, definitely. Or the Pantheon just decided to play safe under tower.
Yeah, absolutely.
And extensive vision, like if Pantheon was able to catch the Shen out. Sentinels going for a Baron play. All 5 are at Baron.
Xin Zhao and
got
Xerath are up. They can go for this steal.
Sarah hit by Nautilus ult.
He has the higher smite. Go for the smite, go for the smite.
Blue team slays Baron Nashor.
Oh, blue team. Xerath will barely not get the Nautilus there. I think that was a little unfortunate from the Xin Zhao. I don't know what happened to his smite. I think he smited a little bit early.
The Aurelia gets caught out and killed. This might be a turning point in this game. The Jax DC and then the Baron play.
Mm-hmm. It's certainly possible. I mean, it is a Jinx, and they have a ball delivery system in the J4 for the Orianna.
Yeah.
They have great engage and peel with Nautilus. So it's possible they can just teamfight their way back into this if it goes too late and the Jinx is allowed to scale up. But at the same time, if they cannot protect that Jinx and Orianna, they will just get blown up by the likes of a Jackson and Irelia. You have a Shin diving on them.
Yeah.
Xin Zhao diving.
Yeah, no, they're all. Men's women's tournament is an all-in type of team. They have to go all in to do anything other than the Xerath. Ocean Drake's the next objective. Zinzao coming in on Pantheon. Pantheon running away.
I'm
Backing
I'm puzzled by that. I imagine he thinks there's others roaming down to him, but I think you have Shin ulti up. You just keep going there. That's a for sure kill. What's interesting is the Orianna has actually clawed her way to having the second most gold in the game behind the Jax.
Yes. great CSing.
Mm-hmm. So that Oriana is actually going to be pretty strong in these fights if she's able to keep her team alive and get a good shockwave.
Since the red team is taking Ocean Drake, which at this point isn't that big of a deal, but still, it's nice to have.
The Sentinels have to be careful about fighting here. They do not have the Jinx. And if
Yes.
Jinx gets spotted out, I expect MWT to pounce on this.
Yes.
Jinx has to not show topside.
And Jinx shows tops.
Jinx shows topside. And there goes Irelia.
Yeah, immediately.
So
They have no teleport though to counter the Jinx split push.
They don't need it. Jinx is on tier 1 and they're on tier 3.
That is true, but there's also a Baron buff to deal with. But the big dive happening, and Zinzao gets a double kill.
Yeah, they're so far ahead. Jinx doesn't even have Baron, so it doesn't matter. That's
The Baron
just
buff
bad macro there from Sentinels. I understand wanting to get the Jinx farm, but don't place that far up doing it.
No, an inhibitor is a big deal.
Mm-hmm.
There's a big minion wave on the tier 2 tower. It's not
True.
2. But it's probably gonna disappear eventually. But that is a lot of missed farm.
Mm-hmm. Baron is up in, I believe, a minute and a half. 2 minutes. And you gotta expect MWT is probably going to try and force around there if there's nothing too crazy before the
They have
Baron.
an inhibitor up bot lane. Jax has Spear of Shojin, so in case anybody thought of skirmishing this Jax, don't bother at this point.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, yeah, Gunblade, Spear, and Trinity Force. This Jax can basically one-shot even the Nautilus, I think, at this point.
What I would like to see Sentinels doing right now is they know the next big objective is Baron. What they should have done with that probably minute and a half of just downtime is they needed to drop wards on their way to Baron instead of throughout this bot side jungle, because that's not going to help you at all.
No, they're all bot side. The
Yeah.
entire Sentinels team is all clustered up bot side.
And MWT sees that. That's why they're just shoving in topside and getting that vision set up already.
Pantheon TP's in and is dove.
Absolutely. That's a very questionable TP there. He knows the Jax is horribly fed. Irelia's strong in her own right, and he's 0-9.
And they're both right there. Like, they can set up the stun lock.
Mm-hmm. And I wonder why Sentinels kept them bot side instead of having everybody recall to defend inhib.
Yeah, they're just good. I think they just lose the game off of this.
Yeah, they probably just mentally checked out at this point. They're thinking about the next game, what they need to do to improve.
Yeah, Zinza gets caught, sort of, but it's a bit of a fight. Trying to defend the inhibitor.
Irelia gets caught though.
Caught and killed.
Jax turns though, and he's still a monster.
Jinx fails to kite.
Oh my gosh.
And Xerath gets a triple kill. This is game.
Absolutely, that is rough. So what do you want to see from Sentinels going into game 2?
Better understanding of the bot lane. How to do a 2v1.
Right.
That, probably a different top lane setup.
Yeah,
They're not
I
actually gonna get
didn't like the Jax there.
You didn't like the Jax?
Or sorry, the Pantheon. I don't know why I said Jax. I meant Pantheon though.
Yeah, no, I think the Pantheon, it's just abusable early game. Like, if Pantheon gets behind early game, he's useless.
Right.
And while Pantheon is strong, yeah, at this point, Red Team just takes the Baron and wins by using Superman.
Mm-hmm.
They have a kind of a guaranteed win here, but the Jax disconnects, so
Oof. Hopefully it's not too long of a pause.
yeah.
You gotta kind of feel like the rest of this is kind of formalities because you look at the gold difference, you see the item difference, and it just does not feel doable whenever you look at the split pushers.
Yeah, just Xerath is
Irelia's
almost,
got though.
yeah.
Turns out Irelia had them caught instead.
This is just kind of, yeah, the Baron into sit around with super minions, just win off of them just crushing the base.
Mm-hmm. So going into game 2, what would you like to see from MWT? Obviously, this is a dominant performance, but do you want to see them change anything differently, like the Shin or?
Yeah, they can't run the same cheese strat twice. I don't think so.
Now, what if that's the real Galaxy Brain stuff right there, where you do run the same cheese strat twice?
But I think
They'll never
Sentinels.
expect it.
I think Sentinels will probably expect something like that. I mean, I think what they would do is to. I think the Xerath by themselves in bot lane actually work quite well. So
Mm-hmm.
then it's, what do you want to play around? Like, would you want to see double jungling? Would you want to see, would you want to see double jungling? Would you want to see some other type of, like a Pike, a roaming support, trying to get kills with his ultimate?
I tell you what, though, I did really enjoy the throwback to the River Shen of the old days.
Yeah, that was cool. The final team fight coming down here. And yeah, red team just totally wins.
Mm-hmm. They just whipped out their bag of gold and smacked Sentinels with it.
Yeah, and Baron buff and super minions and all the preformed advantages.
Let's see. Looking at the damage graph, of course, it's Jax leading the way, and Xerath doing second most in the game, right behind him. So these two
Definitely.
putting in a lot of work.
The
here.
Jinx just wasn't really able to deliver.
Mm-mm.
Jinxes are kind of required to do lots of damage. This one didn't.
Well, and you gotta also look at the team comp from MWT that just didn't let Jinx do anything.
No, what is Jinx going to do with this kind of comp?
I
And part of the problem with the melee, like the melee squishiness in a sense with Jarvan and Pantheon, is that they didn't. Nautilus was too far behind to be a proper tank, and without a proper tank, there's not really. No one can absorb the Jax's damage without dying.
Mm-hmm.
So, or the Xerath, they didn't have some nice big tanky Garen to sit there and eat Xerath coat, heal it back up or something. Like that would have been really nice.
True, and you look at the J4, he only was able to get a frozen heart after his jungle item.
Yeah, it's just not good enough. Like, I mean, on jungle, like there was a significant jungle difference in this game as well. Despite the Xin Zhao not having really high damage numbers, Xin Zhao's are not known for their big massive team fight damage. So that would kind of be expected.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, the Shen doing the least damage, really not surprising because, well, if you're level 2 most of the game, you don't do that much damage.
True. In any case, this is going to wrap it up for game 1 of MWT versus Sentinels, where MWT will come out on top here, and kind of a very strong fashion, making a lot of statements with in-your-face picks and performing on them. Like to see same thing from them going forward, and I would really like to see how Sentinels looks to adapt going into game 2. Lightning, any last thoughts before we go to a break?
I don't think so. I think you laid it out pretty well.
Alrighty, well, all of you, please come back and join us for game 2 after 5-minute break.
5-minute break. Hello! We are returning to Sentinels versus Men's Women's Tournament for Game 2. Men's Women's Tournament won Game 1 with a very interesting and dynamic strategy. They played good old River Shen and used the Xerath bot lane by himself, which actually worked quite well. So, the pressure is on for Sentinels to see if they can secure their top spot for playoffs. Who will be able to make first seed for the playoffs?
Yeah, and it's really interesting because if Sentinels are able to pull back game 2 here, then they will still be tied after this set.
We're going into the pick and ban phase now.
Mm-hmm.
Men's Women's Tournament is preparing their first ban.
So if you're Sentinels, what do you ban coming out of game 1?
Jax, they leave the ban empty.
Yes. So to explain, MWT was flashing emotes and such, which is against our league rules. So as per rules, they will lose 2 bans, and that is why their first 2 bans are going to be blank here.
No emote spamming, remember that.
But so Sentinels gets rid of the Akali. So do you think they focus on flex picks? Or
Possibly, but they're just kind of pulling out similar bans than last time. Sentinels will be able. They ban Sentinels ban out the pan.
So I like this here. They're not going to take it themselves because it failed for them in game 1. So in game 2, they're going to deny it away from MWT, where they do flex that into a couple different roles.
Yeah, that's probably what they should have done in the first game instead of picking it, because they didn't really. Their top laner didn't really have a lot of Pantheon experience.
So, but they did leave up the Heimerdinger in exchange.
Yeah. I'm sorry for whoever has to lane versus Heimerdinger. Sentinels could, if they can play at the Yasuo and just match the Heimerdinger with a Yasuo.
So the Heimerdinger is going to be going bot side, I believe, and they will pick a Caitlyn into it. And I do kind of want to defend Sentinels on their Pantheon pick in game 1. I do think it's correct if you think you can pick away the enemy team's champ, and then you don't have to waste a ban on it. I think that is a good strategy to try to employ. Unfortunately, it backfired game 1.
Heimerdinger Zyra bot lane, what it appears to be. It's a lot of AP damage. A lot of zone control. They're just going to try to create kind of a fortress bot lane with all the essentially mini towers. Zyra's plants and then Heimerdinger's turrets.
Interesting pick mid here, Fizz.
And the Galio pick for Sentinels. Probably
like
support to versus or maybe mid. They're all AP, so
Scattercat likes to run Galio. I believe he has a couple of picks on Galio this season alone of the league.
Yes.
So
and versus a Fizz, it's a good matchup. There's lots of AP damage on the enemy team. Why not pick Galio? The Leona ban coming out from Men's Women's Tournament. Oh, Blitzcrank.
I feel like Blitzcrank's kind of an interesting one, as you can block with plants and turrets.
Yeah, but if
I do like
if Heimer or Zyra get grabbed, they're dead. They get a trap put under them and then they die, and they might just not be confident enough with their positioning.
That's understandable. Going
Oh,
to
what's
the
that?
Sentinels, though, I do like the Jackson Irelia bans. They pose a lot of problems game 1. Good idea, just get rid of them for game 2. And they will
Leona
also get
ban.
Leona ban. I imagine Sentinels will pick Nautilus here, then.
Yes, but I wouldn't want to play Nautilus into Heimerdinger or Zyra. I mean, what am I gonna do? Jump on them and then die?
Very likely, yes. But that is the Sentinels' main or go-to support.
Brand.
The brand.
Yeah, that's probably a good idea. Brand offers lots of control and lots of like zone control and can burn out the plants from range.
There's a Twitch, so it's definitely not a Heimer bot lane. I wouldn't
Or it's
imagine
a Twitch
unless
jungle.
that's
Could
what
be
I
a
was just
jungle.
about to say, unless it's a Twitch jungle. Something I want to say about the brand. So Aatrox probably top. But about the brand, what I'm worried about is he is very short range into Zyra. So that should let her get a lot of roots off, and even Heimer will be able to get grenades and missiles while Brand is trying to damage him.
No, I don't think the brand. Like I would have probably liked to see. I mean, Heimerdinger Zyra. I would have liked to see like a Soraka or maybe like a Xerath bot support. Something with either sustain or long range poke or a bit of both.
The Poppy pick is interesting into Aatrox. It's not actually that bad for it being a tank into a life drain bruiser. So I'm really interested to see how it will play out topside.
Yeah, unless it's could have, unless the Heimer is going to be flagged, and then the Aatrox goes jungle.
True. Yeah,
But
that
with
is
the,
certainly a possibility.
I think men's women's tournament likes to leave those kind of options open and keep their opponents guessing as to what comp they're picking exactly.
Which, looking at game 1, it did seem to be very effective.
Yeah. No, playing against off-meta strats is hard.
Absolutely, especially if your team's not coming out with something crazy itself, making them adapt to. So, what do these two comps want? So, Sentinels looks more like a team fighting comp again, with the
Yeah.
Brand ult, the Galio ult.
AD carry,
Yeah,
forward for
Caitlyn.
engage, Poppy. Poppy is a good. Poppy can stop the Fizz from dashing onto the AD carry.
Very true.
I think Caitlyn's going to be much safer than Jinx was in the last.
I think you're right. What I'm interested in is if the Heimer and Zyra get fed.
I think they win. Yeah, I think that's kind of a win condition. I mean, they are squishy, so they can get caught.
Really are. They do not have a great team fighting setup at all. So come objective time, I would kind of favor Sentinels just for the more
Yeah.
well-rounded front to back team fight. But that is definitely where the whole front to back thing can fall apart if Fizz and Twitch are able to enter from angles. That makes it a lot harder.
No, I'd expect Poppy to be played behind as for Peel, and use the Warwick ult and then Galio ult for engage. I think that's how Sentinels ought to play this.
I do think the Poppy probably has to just mark Fizz come team fight stage.
Yes, and Poppy can really shut down Fizz and kill Fizz.
She can interrupt his dash with 2 different abilities, 3 if you count the ult.
Yeah, no, I mean Fizz won't do any good if there's a Poppy in the way. Fizz will probably die if he engages by getting, grounded and then slowed and then stunned and knocked away and whatever.
Though the more I look at the Galio into the Heimer, Zyra, I don't really like it. Like, come grouping time, I don't really like him trying to get through the added obstacles, the turrets and the plants.
Yeah. But Galio's E won't be stopped by the turrets and the plants. It'll kill them. And his Q can also just kill them from range.
True. I don't know, I just look at it and I feel like they're going to have a hard time approaching with
Yeah.
Twitch slow and stealth, and then you have Heimer Zyra zone control.
Yeah, if this Twitch is able to get ahead, but against a Warwick, like Warwick is capable of, fearing this Twitch backwards into their team, and like Twitch does not have a great early matchup versus something like a Warwick or really most champions. Twitch is really squishy. It has a slow jungle clear,
Mm-hmm.
and like Twitch is really easy to pick off early game.
Does he have a pretty unhealthy clear?
Yes, Twitch's clear is off.
So
Slow.
I would
and
definitely like to see the Warwick trying to invade with his blood sense then.
Yeah, Twitch will get low, trigger blood sense, and get chased down and die. That's or Twitch has to back all the time.
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
Well,
if
go ahead.
this Twitch could probably just go red buff and just try to get ganks. Like, I think that might be safer than
Oh, I do expect that. I expect a level 2 gank coming out.
yeah. And
I expect it
Sentinels
mid lane.
Sentinels just have to play around that. Like,
Yeah. I
let's see.
absolutely see the Twitch red buff and into level 2 gank mid on the Galio.
Yeah, that totally makes sense. Galio's not great against early.
I'll give the
Especially
Twitch
like
the
that.
Galaxy Brain award if he flashes in front of the Galio dash.
And does do that not under turret and die.
Yeah, I mean, he still gets style points.
Yeah. But no, I've seen far too many over aggressive Twitches in my solo queue games. They just die all the time.
I've also seen them tilt all the laners because they're constantly ganking. So then the Warwick gets spam pinged like, come on, bro, do something.
Yeah. The Twitch is good against farm junglers because they can't really stop the Twitch. But against anyone that can jump on the Twitch and kill them, like, I mean, do you really want to play Twitch into a Xin Zhao? The answer is no.
True.
Do you even want to play Twitch into like lots of tank champions? The answer is no.
Yeah, I don't like the Twitch into the Galio. Galio is going to have a lot of burst. So the mid 2v2s are going to be, I think, Sentinels favored.
Definitely. I mean, Warwick ult into Galio ult. I think Twitch and Heimer are both just Twitch, Heimer, Aatrox. If any of their champions are going to die to that, they can just be caught and picked off. Because Galio
Yeah.
will zone everyone else off to help. Like, you can't. Do you want to run in and help and get stunned? No.
Oh, that's right. Fizz is top. Or
Probably.
no. Oh, no, mid. Sorry, mid.
Yeah.
I was looking
Fizz-
at the lineup on the client one last time and it threw me off because they're switching around. But no, Fizz mid, which he has the pull to dodge Warwick ult. So that is a way he can kind of dodge these 2v2s.
Yeah. I don't know how Aatrox will fare against Poppy. I mean, Poppy does have quite a bit of kill pressure for a tank early game.
True, but it is still a tank into a life drain bruiser.
Yeah.
So
It's not a great
naturally, go ahead.
It's not a great matchup, but Poppy can also just first item Bramble Vest pretty
Yeah,
easily.
yeah, and
And
then
that'll
that turns the matchup pretty hard.
yeah, the matchup can kind of turn around on one item. Also, Aatrox has lots of dashes. Aatrox gets hit with the ground and slammed into a wall and queued. I mean, that's a lost trade, even if he, uses his ultimate and gets Q hits in. Like his reliance on dashes means that Poppy is a counter pick. I mean, being grounded for 2.5 seconds and slowed allows Poppy to flank around, get the E Q combo, along with some grass. And Poppy can get grass proc from range to help stain, poke through the lane. Aatrox can't really do that. And his Q does have some range, but it's not a lot. No early shenanigans going down.
Looking at the draft from Sentinels this time, though, I do really like it in compared to their Game 1 draft with the Pantheon, and also in comparison to MWT here in Game 2.
Yeah, the Twitch is going for the Galio. Quit. Galio flashes and dies. Sticks around too long. Twitch gets first blood.
Yeah, that's rough. Galio TPing back in here.
Twitch going for his blue buff. Warwick on his red. Bot lane, the Heimer Zyra just have a lot of zone control. As kind of expect.
So you have this Twitch. He's already got a kill. He's coming in top here.
Yes, the Warwick's right there though, so will this work is the question.
I think it does.
Yeah, me too.
Twitch coming in here, Poppy dashing through, try to get some distance.
Poppy's able to escape, but is taken low.
Yeah, she'll make it out. Here's some trades coming in mid lane. Fizz troll pulls the Galio dash and gets it out. Gets out on
Twitch
pretty
coming
even
in
trade.
mid.
He's not spotted by that ward. Unfortunately, no slow coming out from Fizz to try to secure that kill.
Warwick pressuring.
I think that's a waste of time. He just needs to farm up.
He does. Could probably contest the scuttle. Poppy taken low. Poppy kill.
Oh. Ooh. Action bot lane as the brand flashes forward for the ignite.
Warwick being pressured off by the Twitch.
And forced to flash away. That's rough.
This Twitch is actually doing quite well.
And it doesn't feel like Sentinels were ready to play against it.
No, the Galio dying at the beginning was so predictable. We called it before we got into game.
Oh, he should have turned around onto the Fizz there. I don't know why he's just walking away. Probably a little expecting the Twitch to come in from the side, which is understandable. He's already been ganked twice.
The unhealth of the Twitch is clear, is showing, having to back a lot. Which is limiting his level progression. He's already a level down despite his kill. Yeah. And Warwick will have pressure on the Infernal. Potentially solo it.
So that's an interesting back timer from the Sentinels bot lane, as there's action going on top lane. But I feel like they were okay to stay I know Caitlyn was 75% health at least, full mana. I didn't think the brand was below half. And I don't know, I just didn't like the back time.
Heimer potentially gonna get caught out here. Yeah, Heimer
Yeah,
potentially
Heimer's
gonna get caught out.
No stun coming out though, and he will flash to safety.
Yeah.
More action in mid lane though, as Fizz troll pulls the knock up from Galio again. And the
Galio
Galio.
taken out again.
Mm-hmm. Was hopefully he can keep his composure and not get too tilted from that. But Warwick's here in the bot lane waiting to spring the trap. Let's see if MWT is going to give him the option. They're just going to force it. They do get the Zyra flash out, but Brand taken very low there. I don't think he's able to stay in lane. He may have to back here or risk dying.
Twitch coming in for the Poppy, but he's gonna walk over a control ward.
Mm-hmm.
Aatrox gets thrown away.
So interestingly, from Warwick, he goes for blue. I hope he goes right into Dragon here.
Yeah, he has a free Infernal.
No, but he's going to waste some time on the Scuttle Crab here, which gives...
Twitch is gonna go steal his red.
Let's see, and Warwick doesn't go for the Drake yet.
Or
Interesting.
the Twitch's red buff.
Mm-mm.
He's wasting time.
That is unfortunate.
He's going to go towards his own buff. Twitch already stole it.
Mm-hmm.
He's gonna come in and gank the Galio.
Yep, he's not spotted either. Galio thinks he's safe. If that gank was played a little bit better, that's a dead Galio there.
Yeah. The Fizz was a bit slow in responding, but also didn't want to give it away. I mean, I do understand. Warwick coming in to gank the Aatrox.
Aatrox is going ult. Is he going to turn for the Poppy? He tries, but he's going for the 1v2 still.
He's able to force Poppy to flash out. Warwick should have.
Power of Aatrox.
Warwick possibly should have waited till 6.
Yeah. He
kills the Poppy.
That is unfortunate. Pause. Ooh.
Why did that pause come down?
I'm guessing the Zyra is... or DC maybe? Since I'm just guessing because of the...
HP level.
well, the CC combo. That's what I'm guessing.
I can't move my camera, so...
No.
I do kind of... I think the Zyra is dead as soon as they unpause it.
Mm-hmm. So there's already almost a 2k gold lead here for MWT.
Yeah.
And we're again almost hitting 9 minutes into the game. So they're already further ahead than they were in game 1.
Yes. And Warwick has not been playing against this Twitch properly, I would argue.
And I would agree. And when I switch over to the gold, I see nearly all of that gold difference is on the top and jungle for MWT.
Yeah. Twitch moving up. Potentially gonna go for a spray and pray gank. But his ambush cooldown runs out.
He does get spotted out by a control ward there too, so Galio knows to play a little bit safer. Caitlyn's going back for a BF sword here. She's up 6 CS, but down a plate.
The Warwick is still level 5. He's lost his level advantage. Kind of needlessly, I might argue. Like, he just wasted a lot of time running around doing nothing. The Zyra AFK again. Not AFK. Disconnected. Same thing.
Right.
Not playing.
Let's see. It's kind of an unfortunate early game here from Sentinels. Their bot lane is gained ahead, but kind of at the cost of their top side.
I mean, admittedly, Poppy will still be useful. Even when a bit behind.
However, what's questionable for me is that even though there's been this dynamic of MWT on the top side or winning on the top side while Sentinels are winning on the bot side, they haven't transitioned that into any dragons, even though they've had the opportunity to get free dragons.
Yeah, this Warwick is potentially going to make that transition right now.
Hopefully. There is
But
trading on the top side here, though.
Yeah, Twitch just spotted out topside. The Infernal is the correct call. Will the Warwick do it?
No.
No.
He's coming mid lane instead. He
Twitch
will
coming
not
in.
ult the Twitch for some reason. Galio ult coming in. Warwick down. And Galio will fall also. Aatrox taking a trade topside though. Is he going to be able to get the Poppy?
Yes.
Yes, he will. As the Greatsword comes crashing down on him. Across mid and top, MWT goes 3 for 0. Pushing that 2k gold lead to a 3k gold lead in a matter of seconds. And well, this is where I would like to see MWT start setting up for Dragon or Herald. Rand's getting caught out here. Will he get... He'll trade the Zyra back.
Brand and Zyra both go down. They're immobile burst mages. That was kind of expected, that they just kill each other.
The Warwick got pushed off by the Aatrox with a 4-level advantage on him.
Yes, this Warwick is under-farmed.
I would really like to see MWT go aggressive on the objectives. You know you're ahead. Just start swinging that bag of gold around.
Yeah, no, the lack of objectives pressure from both teams has really been kind of disappointing. They really ought to pressure the objectives more. Like, there's been an Infernal Drake sitting up here for, like, 7 minutes and no one's even tried to take it. Both teams could have just nabbed it if they wanted it. But no one seems to care about the Infernal Drake for some reason.
And Twitch back mid, going for the Galio, who will fall. Just
Maybe now they'll go for the Infernal? No.
I don't think so. No.
This Twitch can't solo it, he'll die.
True.
So
that means they're relying on their bot lane to get priority.
Which they don't have.
Well, they do now. With the brand zoned off, they could rotate onto the brand, push him off, and have the Twitch meet them for Dragon.
Essentially, they're able to poke out the Caitlyn a bit. They could. I think they could do Dragon here.
Oh, absolutely. Kate has to back. You know, Warwick is too far behind to fight. Has no damage anyways. I think you just go Dragon here.
Twitch is going for a blue buff invade?
They do get another plate on the bot side though, so they are mining the plates. Aatrox is working on top lane turret, but he's going to get punished for his hubris.
Yes. Giving that big shutdown. Don't. Tower diving against someone who can ground you is probably a bad idea.
One would think so.
This Twitch taking Scuttle.
Kind of unfortunate that
And sort of getting.
there's been no defensive wards put into the jungle by Sentinels.
No, the effort. This Twitch has essentially been allowed to do what he wanted, more or less unopposed. Just disappointing.
Well,
was
they
able to catch
blow
out
up the Heimer. Yeah.
There's Heimer's squishy. Being ganked is a big problem.
Twitch is squishy too, so if they do get a catch, he will go down. And I would just really like to see some objectives here.
Yes, again, both sides not contesting the Infernal Drake. This is bad.
Yeah, going on 15 minutes here.
Just don't do this in your game. Contest the Infernal Drake. It's important.
True. However, both teams seemingly to just handshake on turrets, as Aatrox will get tier 1 on the top. Oh, Twitch just going
with a
off.
Flash ult play, taking the Caitlyn.
Galio going in on the Fizz mid lane, just action all across the map. Unfortunately, he can't close on the kill as Aatrox is roaming down. Galio makes it out. Is Aatrox going to stop back? Nope. So what do you do here if you're Sentinels? How do you try and come back from this 5k gold deficit at 15 minutes?
You try to get picks on their squishy champions. Probably not the Aatrox.
Probably not. Now, here's the thing. Besides tanking this, Aatrox getting caught out now. Going to go in. He has backup from the Heimer.
He gets grounded. Yeah, Galio coming in.
And they will bring down the Aatrox for a second time.
Yeah.
Still no Dragon Force.
No. But this is like, I don't know.
It's alright. It's alright. Somebody will eventually get the Infernal. And then we can praise them then. As someone who likes
objective-focused junglers, I'm disgusted, but I'm also biased.
Everybody's biased a little. Let's see. The problem that I have with Sentinels right now is the Caitlyn isn't able to really do much right now. She's 2-1, but she seems to be having a hard time getting damage down now that she's out of lane. MWT is going to force Sentinels back off this mid turret, and it looks like they're going to push for tier 2. No? Are they going to back and go for Rift or Dragon?
Aatrox coming in. They look to be setting up for a long siege.
That kind of is what it looks like, setting up the flanking wards. But they'll do that and just back off. If you're going to ward and back off, I'd like to see the wards around objectives. Maybe only...
The Infernal Drake is unwarded.
Yep.
It's warded.
They have that and Rift Scuttle, so maybe Infernal's not super important, but Rift is still unwarded.
Yes, the Rift could be very useful to either team right.
Absolutely. It can help MWT crash down that middle turret and try and force a big fight there. I do like Caitlyn farming up though in the side lane. She does have some wards down, so she can play a little bit further up and catch this farm.
Yes, and she has an infinity edge. I mean, the Caitlyn's gonna start to do serious damage on the second item.
True. I do want to point out something interesting here from the Heimerdinger. I didn't notice this earlier, but he has a support item also. So they're going to have even more wards down.
Yes.
That's very interesting. I do really like
Twitch
that.
is on the Infernal. Which finally, that's a good idea.
Yay!
Caitlin's coming in though. Well,
No, okay, now she's moving.
will they?
It is spotted, but
They
they
don't go
don't
in.
force. They didn't have vision of Aatrox, so they didn't know how quickly he would be able to turn it. So that makes sense. Especially when they're already 7k gold down. Makes sense to not try force, but Brand caught out here.
Steals.
Is he almost going down?
He goes down to a Heimer
Flashes forward.
flat play. This Caitlyn is caught.
MWT coming out ahead in this 4v5
Coffee
mid lane.
overextends and goes down.
This whole time Aatrox is just shoving top lane. This is really unfortunate. That's just how far down they are. Galio, good
Put another
taunt.
tower. Warwick picks up 2 kills. And then goes down.
That is just unfortunate. It was a great taunt though from Galio.
Yes, definitely.
If they weren't so far down, they trade that back more evenly. But just state of the game now is, even though it's a great play, it doesn't matter. As
Twitch is very ahead now. And we'll just be able to, like, the Twitch is no longer having trouble with either the jungle or, being one-shot. And Twitch now just start one-shotting their champions, even their supposedly tanky ones. Like, this Brand is about to get caught and killed.
True.
Or the Twitch is gonna get caught and killed.
Woohoo!
Because he
Good shutdown.
He tried to catch out the Brand right in front of the Gallia, which is a bad idea.
Ooh, Galio's still going forward, almost one-shots the Zyra. Ooh, might have stepped too far forward as he gets taken low. Caitlyn's still farming on bot side. Fizz goes in. Warwick will stay up, goes down. Fizz drops, Zyra drops as everybody starts scattering from the team fight. Caitlyn is still just shoving. Yeah. Bound and determined to get that
copy. And
she will go down on cooldown. Yep. And Heimer shoves mid. Ought to get that turret as well. Yep. So in the span of a minute, there have been, what, 6 kills? Something crazy like that. Maybe more.
Yeah.
And they shrank the gold lead by 1,000 gold. That's good, but it's just not enough right now as Warwick gets caught out by the Zyra.
Warwick
just barely stays alive, but stays too long as Zyra picks him up and she walks out. Aatrox drops the Galio on his own.
And Brandel goes down.
Ooh, as the cavalry comes in, just cleans up that team fight. 4 for 2 there in the favor of MWT.
Definitely.
Something I want to note is the lack of tankiness on the side of MWT may be
the Heimerdinger disconnected.
Yeah.
This PC problem is really terrible. It was like our last game.
You're kicking our asses, who cares? But what I want to point out about MWT's comp right now is that the lack of tankiness might be what's stalling them from taking Baron. So that may be something that
who's going to tank Baron?
Sentinels will be able to take advantage of later.
Yeah, they don't really have anyone to tank Baron, which is a problem. I mean, Heimer turrets, and if Zyra and Heimer are able to set up their towers, but they might just, they might be able to help out with that, but that's assuming the Baron aggroes them. They're able to selectively aggro, and that they will be taken off pretty quickly by the Baron's like burst attacks.
Yeah. What I'm wondering is if Sentinels can catch them at Baron, because we know they can't tank it well. So if Sentinels is able to come in and pressure Baron and stall out MWT while they're taking that Baron damage, then maybe Sentinels can try to find a miracle team fight if they're just patient and can play their cards right. It's
Yeah.
very possible.
No, I think that's one of their win conditions. Because, I mean, late game, this Twitch is already kind of late game menace level of Twitch.
True. I mean, shoot, he himself is 4,600 gold, but as we just saw, if he mispositions, he can get popped himself.
Definitely. No, this Twitch has to be careful. While he
Mhm.
can, catch out their whole team and, win the team fight, he can also get stupidly caught and die to even just one member. I mean, this Galio is perfectly capable of one-shotting the Twitch.
Something interesting that I do want to point out is Galio went Luden's Echo first instead of the Proto Belt. So he's not going to be quite as tanky, but he'll have a little bit more burst damage than he would normally at this point of the game.
Yeah, the Luden's Echo build versus Proto Belt is a hot topic among people who play Galio. I know a bit. I used to play Galio a lot, but I don't know. They nerfed him into the ground for a while, so I just stopped playing him.
Yeah, same. I'm kind of back on the Galio hype train though, just because he does so much damage.
Yeah,
It's
they
like
they
full AP
removed his
Malphite. You just run at people and try blow them up.
yeah. And Galio's a really good counter to Malphite. Like, I don't know. Having the magic resistance and the magic damage against Malphite is just, I mean, it's a double damage type setup. And then also, I mean, the taunt is good. The Q is, you're able to return Q poke versus Malphite's Q poke. And you just win all in. It's like you just deal more damage at the correct type.
So what's interesting to me is Poppy is building a second armor item here. She went Sunfire and has Glacial now, likely going into the Iceborne Gauntlet.
Yeah, that's someone just
I
no, but I think it's a Frozen Heart because it's a cloth armor in addition. So I think that's going to be a Frozen Heart for the
I
Poppy.
certainly hope not. Even though the Fizz is really strong, you still have, or even though the Twitch and Aatrox are really strong, you still have a Fizz, Heimerdinger, and Zyra who are going to be
Yeah,
doing a lot of magic damage. I think you absolutely need to get probably an adaptive helm. That'll
Adaptive
help a
Helm,
lot for all three of them. The
Abyssal
Fizz,
Mask if you want to accentuate the magic damage on your team and improve your Sunfire Cape to wave clear. Abyssal Mask would work. I mean, Adaptive Helm, or I mean, there are a couple of other items you could use. Don't go Spirit Visage on Poppy.
no. But I don't like the second item going armor there.
No, it's
Mm,
not. It's not a good idea.
what and going back though, if you look at all this vision here on the top side for MWT set up for Baron, I
Also, the Poppy did not build a Bramble Vest, which is
no.
bad.
Yeah, I think top side there you could have gone Bramble Vest into Ninja Tabbies and been A-okay against
Atra,
Aatrox and Twitch and probably
yeah,
gone ahead in that lane.
yes, but I mean the Sunfire is fine, but you can't play forward with it. Like you can't look for fights.
Right.
I think most of this game is just a couple of early mistakes by Sentinels, mainly in dealing with this Twitch, just kind of snowballing out of control.
Yeah, I think their bot lane played pretty well. I just really wish that they would have punished the Twitch more by going for that. And I'm going to come back to it here. That early dragon. They had bot pressure for most of the first 15 minutes, so they just could have gotten that infernal while Twitch is ganking topside.
Before you finish, the Heimerdinger who disconnected probably will stay disconnected. His computer is, what was it?
Yeah, smashed by his mom. So it's going to be a 4v5, which means Sentinels may have a way to come back into the game,
Yes.
folks.
4v5s are hard to win. I was super proud of myself when I won my first 4v5
So,
rank from
what's
the beginning.
interesting is, who is it, the Zyra that's gone?
No, the Heimerdinger.
Oh, yep. Looks like it. That's very interesting. Unfortunately, it's not. So I say unfortunately, but it's unfortunate there's even a 4v5 scenario. But even more unfortunate for Sentinels in this scenario is that it wasn't one of the super strong members. It's the 1 in 3.
Maybe that's why Poppy built armor, because one of the AP champions would disappear off the face of the rift.
Oh yeah, it's all planned. They're DDoSing. We gotta be careful with the jokes.
But
some of the community may take it seriously.
possibly, but I don't think anyone's taking that joke seriously. But it's still, but it does really put a timer on the game for men's women's tournament. They have to win.
MWT, yeah.
They have to win reasonably soon.
Very unfortunate net there for Kate. Not that I think it would have done much for her anyways, but. And just
out.
Yeah, they're just pushing into areas with no vision.
Getting caught.
Galio had his blue trinket up. He very easily could have scouted that. Unfortunately, they just get caught. And MWT will get their second Infernal of the game and ignore Baron and push on mid lane. It's interesting.
They're coming up though, and it's warded, so the Baron play is definitely risky.
Oh yeah, I do see the ward now.
And again, they lack a tank. I mean, the Aatrox would probably do decently, but still.
True.
He might have to use his ultimate on tanking Baron, which... No.
Let's see, how tanky is the Aatrox? Was that 2500 health it looks like?
Yeah, 2500 health, and a small amount of magic resist, but no armor.
Right. He's going third item Spirit Visage, so he's definitely going for a Drain Tank build. Ooh, Brand caught out with the ult here. Fizz will one-shot him as the Galio ult comes in, unable to protect his friend. Good flash there from Warwick, respecting what Fizz can do. So what do you want to see from both teams right now?
Ooh. I want to see men's women's tournament force Baron. They kind of have to.
The catch onto Fizz turned into them getting caught as Poppy and Galio will go down.
It's Warwick.
Warwick gets
caught. They might just try to end the game here.
4v5v damn, they're just going to push on in. also helps that they had a large lead to begin with. As Zyra
Zyra is
made,
taken.
yep,
Zyra taken down though.
Grand passive and Leandry's too OP.
Looking to potentially Baron, but
I think they get that fine with Aatrox tanking.
yeah, and they don't seem to be coming to contest. So the Fizz is getting low.
Yeah, they get that fine.
Yeah,
Well,
there it is.
well, let's see.
They might just
Sentinels
want to.
Go
I
ahead.
think men's women's tournament just want to force up mid with their super minions and go for a team fight. I think
So subtract 10,000.
like
So something I want to point out is even with Zyra gone, if you subtract the 10,000 gold that she had,
Heimerdinger.
or sorry, yeah,
Heimerdinger.
Heimerdinger gone. Even if you subtract the 8,600 gold he has,
Yeah,
the MWT is still up,
in
like
gold.
yeah, 5,500 gold, something close to that maybe.
Potentially getting caught.
Ooh, Warwick
Galio
ults and
coming
gets
in.
punished for it. And it does look like they're going to to end the game here on this push. Twitch low will fall. And they are going to
Possibly.
push on as the Aatrox will pick up another kill.
The Fizz looks to end the game and does so.
Well, GG to both teams. Unfortunate on the 4v5.
Didn't really matter that much.
Not when they're able to amass such a large gold lead early into the game.
Yeah. The brand, the support doing the most damage for Sentinels, which tells you quite a bit. The Caitlyn only able to do 4,754 damage. That's just disappointing. I mean, for an AD carry, it's just not good enough. And I mean, I do get why. But the Zyra is able to take the cake when it comes to the damage in this game.
If you wouldn't mind just talking for a bit while I get things set up.
Okay. So let's go through the ending stats. Damage done goes to Zyra. Damage to turrets goes to the Aatrox. Damage to objectives goes to the Twitch. Healing to the Aatrox, followed by the Warwick. Damage taken. The Warwick took the most damage. Self-mitigated damage, the Galio mitigated the most damage. The Twitch had the most gold. Vision score. The Zyra had the best vision score. The brand placed the most wards though. Twitch and Zyra tied for most wards destroyed at 8. That's a lot of dead wards. The Caitlyn kills the most minions, but just isn't able to generate that into team damage. Which, I mean, I think that was the failure of Sentinel. They were not able to use their AD carry to win the game. Their AD carry had a lot of gold, had some items, and wasn't all that helpful. That was a lot of farm. look at the builds here. Anything? Nothing terribly out of the ordinary. Double support item bot lane for men's women's tournament. Yeah, pretty standard stuff as far as builds go. No funny builds. Warwick not able to complete an item after his jungle item. Pretty disappointing. I mean, the Warwick had the least gold in the game by a far, with only 6,797.
Yeah, which you can just look back to the way he played around the Twitch.
Yeah, that's just not good enough. Like, that, I think, basically single-handedly lost Sentinels' game. I mean, not playing around that Twitch. Twitch can be easily punished by something like Warwick, and Twitch wasn't punished, basically at all.
All right. Well, looks like we need to go ahead and wrap up the stream here. So, GG to both teams, and I look forward to seeing what you guys can do in the playoffs.
Yes. Looking forward to playoff. Goodbye.